What's good, everybody? Anthony here, 6-Scale Mafia. Oh, he's back. He's back. He's running back.
I needed to get something to drink.
Oh, that is okay. I told you it was a short intro, but no, we're good.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you guys for joining us today on this Wednesday morning. This is Wednesday evening for you, my friend. I think.
Yes,
right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. It was.
Yeah, so appreciate.
I had to fight through rush hour traffic the other way to get back here tonight.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we were able to coordinate once again. Guys, if you're not familiar with Joost from JAZZINC Dioramas, my friend, it's been a couple months, so
yeah,
you're looking a lot different. Your setup's looking fantastic. This is great. So this is the new setup. Huh? You got all look at those. Look at those. That Batwing. That's no. Can I full screen for everybody so they can see this?
Yeah. We worked hard on this. So yeah. So we moved in August to the new location, and we had an extra room where we could build this up. And it was finally my time with Brian from the awesome Moducase company to get my stuff. And we had to work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to get us all set up, because on Tuesday the CEO of Warner Brothers was coming with a couple of people, and. Yeah. So we're not totally done. There's still a corner unit that we need to assemble, and we've got the drawers underneath so that the lowest layer is up a bit. And I'm still on the wait list for a few more units, because I asked the group if they could help me find some of my other older stuff that I couldn't afford to keep back then. And so somebody sold me the carbon freezing chamber. We got the very first unit back that we're currently setting up again that will be here. And then, of course, the Batwing or the 1989 Batmobile is going to come here. So in about a couple of weeks from now, it's going to look totally different. But, and I got the Death Star window back.
It looks great.
One. And, the True Skill Death Star, the first ones are going to start shipping in December. And then I can get my unit as well. So, yeah, it's... I'm so happy with this. Every day at work.
It's a long time coming too, right? I mean, about 10 years or so. Yeah,
this is. I'm into collecting 10 years. Most of that was also working for JAZZINC or building JAZZINC, and this is the first time since August this year that I've got my collection set up like this. I mean, in the previous interviews we've done, I was in my very little office at home, and then off camera I had 3 small detolfs, and that was all the space I had there. So this is a dream come true for me. And again, I'm so happy that I got the Moducase stuff, and Brian is awesome to work with. So
Brian's awesome. Brian's awesome.
Highly recommended. This is, by the way, it's not the standard 6-scale stuff. I ordered the DF120s and the DF60s because they're both deeper and wider.
Well, and they look great for all of your products too, because that's what I was wondering earlier, right? I was like, those are definitely not 6. I didn't know if so I was like, did you customs or were they DFs? Because I was like, if it's DFs, that's perfect. That's the perfect size right there.
Yeah, and for cars like this one, then this is the final. I just took out the prototype this morning and put the production version in there for the 1989, and you have to angle it just so, and it fits. But there's not a millimeter to spare, right? So you can't go smaller. You have to do this.
Dude, that's freaking awesome. It looks great. It looks great. A lot of people in the chat are like, say, whoa, yeah, it's pretty awesome. No,
and a shout out to Stronghold Displays for the snow speeder mount and for the Batwing mount right there. So it's that is the way to display this. I'm preparing the Jedi Starfighter for a wall mount option as well. I'm pretty sure they're going to make a wall mount, or I'm planning on putting the Jedi Starfighter on the 3rd.
I was going to say, you got some room back there.
Yeah. It doesn't show, but it's quite deep.
Yeah.
And there's there's windows, and then in between the windows we got this thing. So on the first window we got this, second window there, and then the third window is already reserved for the Jedi Starfighter. Maybe 2 side by side flying information in both colors. So
dude, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah, it looks great. I mean, congratulations, man. It looks awesome. Put a lot of collectors displays to shame, man. Just good setup. It looks great. It's cool that you're backtracking. You're able to get some of the things you missed. I remember you seeing your post. You're like, hey, anybody have this that I had a long time ago? Because I kind of like to get it back.
I'm still the service. Tandem service corridor is on its way to me. The Hoth I'm getting back. Like I said, the very first diorama is the one that Pathfinder for that was. I'm very happy that I got this one, the carbon freeze chamber back from.
Yeah.
And then the true scale Death Star window with the animated screen that is also an eye catcher, by the way. So
yeah, really awesome. Toy box, yeah, that was funny. He said almost looked green screen. That's what we were saying earlier. And I was like, yo, knock on the.
Nope.
And I was like, but because it's the lighting, it's like, yeah, you're like really brought out of the background. But it looks great. It looks fantastic. It looks fantastic. So, but yeah, guys, thank you guys for joining us today. You've got. We hear some sounds going. What do we got back there? 2022?
2022. And it's the power of the remote. Can you see the smoke coming out?
I can't, but I think it's probably just because I'm old and blind.
Yeah. Well, I'm seeing it in the screen, but yeah. It was funny because the reason why I said let's do a stream, because you guys did an awesome stream 1 or 2 days ago. There were a lot of questions.
Tuesday evening.
Yeah. And there was a lot of questions about the 1989, and you were discussing and this is why I love building stuff on a DC power supply with a remote, because everybody has display cases with glass in front of them, and if you don't have the DC power and the remote, you're not going to turn them on and off, right? And so I like having the 1966 blinking up there, and so yeah, I'm a remote guy.
No, remotes are the way to go. And that's like one of my biggest irritations, because I've got like my other way, my Back to the Future. Which way is this? The Back to the Future display right here, right? And it kind of sucks because every day the DeLorean I have to manually turn on. It's not a switch, right? It's like a toggle button, like a press. You know what I'm saying? So like it doesn't. Yeah. When you use smart plugs or something and you turn everything on, you got to open the case, push the button twice to. Get the light. I don't like, so remotes are, I appreciate the remotes for sure. We're 2020, we're almost 2024. Everything needs to be that way, I think. But Webb's Love, actually he says, is there a Moducase big enough to fit the Batwing? Just curious. I mean, Brian will custom. I don't know if the Max, he has his Max series, but if he can make custom dimensions. Yeah, so it would have to be the Max. I haven't looked into this. So like I said, there's going to be his DF corner unit is going to be set up in between those two. And I checked that it's big enough for my other snowspeeder. So this is actually the one from DAC or no, what's 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗔𝗐𝗔. So okay, let's see.
Yeah,
there we go.
Signed by Dennis Lawson.
Oh, that's
he
awesome.
Also, when I met him, he also signed this stuff, by the way. But yeah, so I wanted to do the gray Luke one in the DF, and in that corner display you can get the snowspeeder in, but it would be too small, even the DF, for the Batwing, because that is a massive thing. Anthony, I sent you a couple of pictures. One of them shows how big the Batwing is, if you know what I mean.
I do. Maybe we can pull that up really quick before we get into all this bat goodness. Let me see here. We are looking at, so these were a couple of customer photos, right? That we have. I wonder if I could zoom in on this.
This is. Look at how huge that thing is. So I haven't looked into the Max, but I really like the Batwing wall mounted even more than the snowspeeder. I've got the snowspeeder wall mounted because I've got the second one that I'm going to put in the case.
Yeah.
The Batwing is very, very big for a case.
Yeah, I mean, because looking behind him, he's got the Blitzway Ecto 1, and it's like you can barely see it in frame, like compared, like. Dude, yeah, it's huge. Yeah, it's huge.
Oh, Steven. Oh man, what? Okay, the cat's out of the bag, I guess.
Oh,
so
do we have some kind of news?
Well, I was approached a couple of months ago, maybe even almost a year ago, by DC, somewhere higher up in the chain in the USA, and they're big fans of what we do, apparently, and so they're opening up a DC Comics shop, and then for the high-end collectibles, they asked if we would work with them and reserve a couple of pieces for them that were otherwise would have been sold out. That's why they came to me early.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I have a couple of them in reserve, and they would do a big launch and I hadn't heard, but apparently it's already launched. The cat's out of the bag. About so an email came out earlier today. Yeah, so that's one of the things. I told you a while ago that we became a gold tier partner for Warner Brothers with the stuff that we've been doing, and everybody's excited about it, and so they approached me for that, and I was very, very honored because they've got some big brands that they are working with for their high-end online store. I think they have Prime One in there and a couple of other brands, and the fact that they chose to work with us, I didn't know
that
that was already out there. But yeah,
well, I guess it is. So I mean,
it's just such a vote of confidence, right? I mean, how cool is that?
Oh yeah, that's really freaking cool, man. That is super badass. But I do have a $10 super chat for Pseudo Awesomeness. AJ, my man, thank you, dude. It says, what's up with the Death Star Dio? I'm beyond excited to open all 4 of mine, Joost. Hope you both have a wonderful day. Thank you, my man. Cheers, collecting fam.
Well, the Death Star Dio, we're talking about the True Scale, I'm assuming. That's my dad's project.
Okay.
Yeah, if I could take the camera with me, I could walk you up into the shop where my dad's actually working on wiring everything up for lighting, for all the because it's got the back panels and the ceiling that have built-in lights. So he's currently on wiring. I think so it's first come first serve, like everything we do, and I think we're shipping out the first units in a couple of weeks' time, mid-December, I'm guessing. There's the whole bunch of stuff that we're actually shipping out before Christmas.
Oh, all right. That is awesome, dude. Thank you, AJ, man. Yeah, because I know he's super excited for those. That's why I remember talking about that. So, but Mario's here as well. What's up, my friend? How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, good morning, everybody. No, doing well. Hey, doing well. Hey, Joost, nice to meet you, man. Love the display behind you, man. It's looking great.
Thank you. It's so much better than doing an interview and having guitars in the back. I mean,
yeah, but that's still stylish. I mean, come on. Who doesn't like guitars?
Yeah, but still,
it is, man. It shows
this represents me more now. So I appreciate that.
No, bro, that's no speeder right there. Don't get to me, man. Please don't. I mean, as you can see, I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
That's a nice piece you got right there, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah. Just when you were off screen, we were talking about I've got the second one coming in the middle there, and I'm so thankful that this one was actually signed by Dennis Lawson, who played.
Oh, no, Wadge Antilles.
Wedge.
Yeah, for
so
the.
Cool.
That's
he actually signed the Snow Speeder and the limited edition plate.
One more time.
Nice, very nice.
Oh, can I show off one more thing that the customer got me? Oh, this is a grill piece for me.
Whoa, Michael Keaton autograph.
Michael Keaton autograph.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. You have it with the Batwing?
Yeah, I have it with the Batwing. So, man, I mean, beautiful. And then we got the signatures for Zack Snyder and Patrick Dodopoulos, and I've given you the
for
pictures.
The Justice League here, like CT's. Okay, yeah.
Yep. Yes, CT, you got that. This is the Novi one I bought back. This is actually
that's the very same.
The very same. That's still here. It's looking great. Yeah. I don't want to get rid of it, and I'm like, I've got display space shortage already, so this is the very first Justice Mobile, and then for the Zack Snyder Corporation, I just have the Justice League. So this is BvS, this is Justice League, and I feel like, you know what, that's good. I don't need the Zack Snyder BvS because we got like 83 people for the BvS alone on the wait list, so I'll just sell those, and I've got the Nobi one that I'm very happy with. That's sitting there for the BvS version.
No, that's awesome,
man. Yo, hey, what are the chances of anybody coming in for a little tour of the office there, man?
You are Everybody's welcome. We get people every now and then, like once a week, somebody comes by. We got people driving in from France, from Germany, from Belgium, from the Netherlands. Yeah, there's people doing 8-hour trips. Well, we've gotten a couple of people from the US, by the way, who've flown over. So,
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Road trip, man. Let's go. Let's go visit Joost.
Road trip? No, we can't drive.
Well, you know what I mean. Let's take a trip, bro.
Well, how long?
Even
is the
CT saying
flight?
the same thing. CT saying road trip. Look at that.
Yeah, road trip. Let's go. We'll all just come raid your office, and you'll be like, dude.
Yeah, there'll be like 40 of us showing up. Watch.
These guys are touching my damn Moducase cases and leaving fingerprints. No, I'm teasing, man. I'm teasing. But we
Too
do
many
have
Americans in my shop.
We do have a follower super chat from Carlos, man. What's up, my man? Thank you, dude. He said, Mafia and I stayed up till 3 a.m. talking. He always says this. No, we don't. And now he's doing this interview. He's a man of no sleep, apparently. But that is true. That is true. Never really
How cool is that?
But I said, Yost, your background looks 10 out of 10. Bro, so thank you, my man. Thank you so much.
Is this the same Carlos that helped me out with some cool stuff?
I don't know.
Maybe ask him, because I didn't want to say.
Well, you just did.
I don't know if it's this Carlos, but
I don't know. Carlos, let us know.
But there's one Carlos that's in the chats in these live streams a lot that helped me out with some cool stuff.
Oh well,
I didn't want to say.
That may be. That's really cool though. Guys, I see a couple people asking any updates. Yes, it is. He says so.
Carlos, can I say that? Can I say? Anyway, I didn't want to.
Let's find out. But
yeah.
Well,
so somebody asked for the cockpit. Strangely, I still have a couple of custom ones. Those are basically DX cockpits that have everything with the base and all the lights. They just don't have the sound option, but that's why they're cheaper. So if you're interested in that, I have like 2 or 3 of those left. I think 2. Anyway.
Okay. All right, guys. You heard it here first, man. Let's see if I can pull this up, because I know people are asking about the 89. We've got some stuff here actually, right? That we haven't really seen it too, right? I mean,
let's answer all the questions, because this is the reason why I'm here. Your live stream of 1 or 2 days ago, where you had some questions about the 1989, about the prototypes and all that sort of thing. So yeah. So let's look through some of the stuff that we got here. So we've got, this is the prototype, and it gives you a good sense of scale. Look at the dude next to it. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is just the underneath side here, and then we have, I know you said here we go. There we go. Yeah. So we're slowly assembling it. You're seeing some of the lower design, the bottom design, the different wheels with the correct thread and everything, like we always do. But if you move on, we can. I'm gonna go forward, but everybody's bombarding almost the same question. So maybe if we can just clarify a couple of things here. Is the Batwing still available? No, you can get on the wait list though, because that thing is sold out. But I would say there's because if you get on the 1966 wait list, we still haven't delivered all units, but we're done with production. We have been for a while, and as long as we didn't deliver all units, there's a chance. But the wait list for the 1966 is so long that you can get on there, but that's not likely to convert. Batwing, on the other hand, you could have a chance. Okay. Will the 1989 be heavy? Well, define heavy. I would say the very first Justice League Batmobile that we did, the Justice Mobile, that was heavy. This one is going to be the same as all the others, lighter, around, what are we talking, 25 pounds, I guess. Would it be lighter than the 66? No, because it's bigger than the 1966. So it's, I mean, a little heavier than the 66. A little heavier than the 66, yeah. Okay.
How heavy is the 66 right now?
It's kind of weighty. Nothing like, it's not a Blitzway, right? It's not 80-pound Ecto 1, but right. But it's I don't know. I mean, you might know your conversion, but it's not like super heavy. No, because we did a lot to make things lighter and stronger, because the weight not only kills you with shipping prices, but also with shipping damage. So yeah. And then lastly, just really quick, I know a couple people were also asking if when you're shutting down the pre-order, or the same with Bob Dylan, like or Bat Beyond, if it's the last day of the pre-order.
Right. So, okay. So this is an important question. This is one of the most important reasons why I thought we do the stream, because you guys had that same question 1 or 2 days ago, where there was the impression even that we would close the pre-orders before we show the prototype. We never do that. So for any product we do, we will not close the pre-orders until we show you what we're actually going to be producing. And
like the physical product versus
and we always do some improvements. So if you see the prototype, there's still going to be some tweaks that we're going to improve. So for the 1989, we're going to be discussing this later, but the paint's a little bit better on that than the prototype, and the windshield is a little bit darker, like it should be. And so you're going to get at least what you're seeing in the prototype, and then some. And so the last date is when we're happy with the prototype, and I think that might be somewhere mid-December. And so I have to commit to the exact number of orders with the supply chain, with all the partners, but I'm trying to push that as long as I can. So probably mid-December. If I can make that, I might try to push it to 31st of December, if I can push it that far. But I can at least say that it's going to be at least another 2 weeks before they close, right?
Oh yeah. Okay, that's not bad then, because pretty soon you're going to have like the actual final version, and then that's when people are going to be like, okay, that's when we're going to start to close down.
Yeah.
And then there's still going to be tweaks done. Like we're trying, for instance, in this picture, I just got a feedback from 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗠𝗘, who's one of the Batmobile experts, and he says that circle, it needs to be a little thinner. The walls for that circle around the turbine, those walls need to be a little thinner, so you won't see that in the prototype. In the production version, we're going to try to make that a little thinner while still maintaining structural integrity. So those kinds of tweaks, right? That's what we're talking about.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Because I mean, from the last time when we looked at a couple months ago, you had already, kind of gotten like pretty far ahead, and kept coming back and be like, oh, you know what, we could add this, or oh, this was a little bit different, so we need to make some tweaks. And then, oh, I didn't realize that this was here. From community feedback. So there's more and more being pumped into this vehicle than, I mean, maybe ever. I mean, I could be wrong, but I've kept seeing you keep saying like, oh, look, we're just updating, we're updating.
Yeah. So there's two things at play here. So one, we've got it's almost at the level of the 1966 in terms of customer passion and detail and knowledge, right? And so we keep making tweaks, and even after the experts saw all my models, even like earlier this week, we found like a small slit that was in the bumper that we didn't have in our model, and so we hope that we can incorporate that in the production model. But there's a point where you have to say, okay, now we're done, because we're already pushing back the deadline, and also it means it becomes more accurate, and we can add features and make it better. But it also means that delivery is being pushed back because we're adding those features, we're adding those details. And at one point, people are going to be, yeah, dude, you said it's going to be April, now it's going to be I don't know, May or June. We're still talking like 4 to 8 weeks, but still, for some people that's a lot.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you too, man. It's like, when is that window when you cut off all the feedback that you should gather just for accuracy's sake, without delaying the product as much as possible? Because I'm sure you're getting messages like all the time now. Oh, that's true. Like this, yeah.
And there's still, the expert is still finding out stuff. So with the dashboard interior, the decals, the engravings on the dashboard, we were getting stuff up until like a couple of weeks ago, where what was the other thing that was only recently found out? I forget. There's a couple of the throttle pedal.
That's what we were talking about last time.
Yeah, but so there's been an update to the throttle pedal design yet again after.
Did not know that.
Yeah. So it's a very weird throttle pedal, which is actually closer to a rudder from a F4 Phantom, I think, or maybe something else. I don't remember. But so yeah, we've actually got the final design for that pedal like a week ago, and then we're already past the stage where we've made the parts for the prototype. So those are changes that I hope I can still do after we finish the prototype, and that's what I'm talking about, where the prototype is not even the best version yet, right? So here you can see the full metal construction for the steering.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, so but those are then tweaks, some of which will make it to the final product, and some of it it's just too late. And yeah, basically that deadline is when I commit to making the molds, because we're making molds that are like, well, my wife isn't that tall, so like the size of my wife for some of these parts, right? That takes 3 or 4 months to machine. Oh my god!
Speaking of,
that's
thank
her.
you so much.
Max is the dog.
That's funny, man. Max makes
Okay,
it from
so
the
she's
couch.
watching, but but she figured out how to do a super chat. Honey, I'm so proud of you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. That is
Thank you for watching.
Oh,
Thank
that
you
is
so much.
great.
Anyway, yeah.
But
so
yeah, so speaking of figuring that out, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. But yeah, we're talking about the wheels here and there. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're spinning. They've got the correct thread. Of course, in the prototype, they're 3D printed, but for the final version, they're of course going to be rubber. Oh, and this is another thing. I got the question recently for the 1966. I might have that part here. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, take your time. Take your time. Take your time while we look through here and see. And guys, I'm trying to get to some questions. I know there's a lot of questions in here. If we can get through them, we absolutely will. But I know there's a lot to cover here. But we're going to try our best to answer everybody's questions.
So people wonder about wheel sag, and somebody was asking
about that. But go ahead.
Yeah. And whether they need to reinflate the 1966. But this is the construction that we use. So what you're seeing here is the actual rim, right? And so instead of air, the tires are actually forced onto this. So it feels like there's air in it, but this could never sag, right? So again, you'd have to, can I show this? Yes. So can you see the rim as you would see for the 1966? Right, but inside the tire is this whole construction, right? So you don't ever have to worry about wheel sag or whatever, what have you, with this construction. Okay,
that works. That can work, because I see exactly what you're saying there, right? Because it's holding it up in place. I mean, the gravity is not gonna have that. Okay, that's awesome. That is awesome. I need to bring this back really quick. Let me bring it back to the beginning here. So if I can play this video. Can we? Yeah. I know it's a short video, but can we talk a little bit about that? That looks so cool.
Yeah. All right. So there's a couple of things that is important to talk about here. So this is a test. Yeah. So this is the exhaust. Now forget the blue lights. It's going to be all yellows and oranges like a flame on the real version. But there's going to be a magnetic cap, because there's actually a nozzle kind of extension inside that would prevent smoke from coming out. So you take that off, and then you have a hole for the smoke to come through, because we tested it out and the smoke has to come through the center like that. So you can either display it with that cap on, so you get the proper nozzle look. And if you want to do the smoke, you can just magnetically remove that and have the smoke. But again, those cool lights are going to be there, but that central blue light is also going to be a light, a yellow, orangey kind of light.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple of people who thought the blue looked cool. Master Bill Bro thought so in the chat here. But
it does.
It's not accurate, and I'm sorry, but that's our thing.
That's really awesome. Because I remember we were talking about that prior, and I wasn't too sure. I know like how far you were going to go with that. I was like, well, we're going to do lights and smoke and all the cool bells and whistles. So that's really really cool.
This is the cool thing, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's the second thing, right? We can keep adding to it, because this is the support to this is just blowing my mind, especially with that much cheaper Hot Toys version coming out. And so as long as more people than expected, and then we strictly need order, we could either just do a cash grab, or we can just say, hey, we've got more money. Let's do more features. So smoke, sound, lights, remote, AC power. And now we're working on some die-cast pieces. The thing with the die-cast is die-cast has worse tolerances than the materials we're using. So details aren't going to be as sharp. And so we have to be really picky about what parts we're going to do die-cast, like a tube, that's fine. But that centerpiece with all the little detail, if we do that die-cast, it's not going to be as crisp. That's just inherent to die-cast, right? So we're playing around with that a bit. I've also heard, and this is something I have low on the list, but it would be cool that people would like custom Velcro instead of tape and on the styrofoam packaging. So I would rather put as much.
That is nice. That is nice.
Yeah, but I would put as much as possible in the vehicle, and then if we get even more orders before we close pre-orders, who knows? I can upgrade that too. So basically, I'm set for. I don't need a lot of margin. I've always said this, and so as more and more people order and will order in the coming weeks, that's just money that goes towards extra features, basically. And we've been adding features. For the past month or so, 3 or 4 months, I think, and it's going to be
Well, I will exciting. I mean, like having like Velcro straps it's just nice quality of life, convenient.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, really convenient.
Yeah,
and it's the experience, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because then you can really get that out. I mean, they're heavy. You know, some of us are, who knows? Maybe too heavy or need another person to help. But that Velcro's, it's just nice, and it really feels. Yeah, it's much nicer if applicable, right? It's the little things like that that helps. But I was wondering. I had a few people ask me about this as well, Whiskey. But I was wondering, do you ever think you'll make like a small 89 Batwing, like a 12 scale maybe, or is it like on the drawing board, or is it just kind of something you're thinking, or not even in the wheelhouse right now?
No. So I would say option B. It is. I am thinking about it. So I've for the people who are new to this. As soon as we finish the 6-scale prototype and get all the tooling in production for the 1989 Batmobile, that's when we'll start developing the 12-scale version of the 1989 Batmobile. And that one is going to be the first one where we are really going to try to get back into the 12-scale market and do a Kickstarter so that we can get into the price point of what people would be expecting in the 12-scale market. But we need a lot more orders than we usually get, so that's why we're going to try to do the Kickstarter to see,
kind of gauge interest if it's worth like going into production at that smaller scale.
Yeah, and it's a chicken and the egg situation, really. It's a catch-22 because we've done the 12-scale Justice mobiles. We've only done a couple of hundred worldwide, and so those things were $399, right? And that's not a lot for a limited edition. That's only a couple of units, 100 units worldwide. But that's way more than the usual pricing.
And was that a successful endeavor, do you think?
No,
okay.
It wasn't. So I'm thinking I'm going to give it one more shot. And we would need orders in the thousands to get to the price point that people expect in the 12-scale community. So the 12-scale Batmobile is going to be a Kickstarter thing, and we'll set it at, I don't know, we'll have to do the calculation, but I want to get it to half the price of the 12-scale Justice Mobile, BvS and Justice League, to around $200, and then maybe we can get those, I don't know, a couple of thousand people we need to get to that price point, because it's all quantities of scale, economies of scale, right? That's why Hot Toys can do it so much cheaper than we can, because
they have the volume and the manpower. I mean, the resources and just that presence, right? They've been around forever. They've got all the. A lot of people don't understand that, which is not to take away or discredit or anything, but I mean, you are much smaller than Hot Toys. I mean, really,
very much.
Yeah, only so much. People don't sometimes understand that. Like large companies they're massive in production. They have the resources and they can finance things much differently than other people. So
imagine all the work and all the tooling and the investment, and we're talking $100,000 in tooling easily for a 1989 Batmobile. If you could divide that over 20,000 customers instead of 500, right?
Right.
Right.
then the price per unit goes way down. And I know for like the DeLorean, the DeLorean Part 2, even only Sideshow alone was more than 10,000 units, right? Imagine plus the rest of the world. So they're talking tens of thousands of units. Where this one here, there's 250 units worldwide, but we have to do the same kind of tooling and all that sort of thing, and it's a lot more manual labor. So that's what you're paying for, basically. It's the reality.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course.
It's why we can't do retail. We can't do retail or wholesale because we don't have the margins to share. That's basically that's how it works.
Yeah. No,
anyway,
that is true. Anyway, I do have a couple super chats too to get through, and then guys, we're gonna get back into the 89 here in just a minute. But from Galactic Fearsome, dude, thank you so much, my friend. $10 super chats. Howdy guys. I'm a new collector, so forgive me if this question has already been asked, but are there any plans for the Bat ski boat or Bat missile from Batman Returns? Also great content, Mafia. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Joost, that's all you, my friend.
Yeah. I'm not going to say no, but it's not going to be anytime soon. Because I just don't know how much support there would be for that. I can imagine the Bat missile.
Yeah.
I can imagine that. I'm open to doing that, right? But we've seen with the 1995, we're only just barely made the minimum order numbers.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the 95 is as popular. It's still great, don't get me wrong, but clearly like the 89 is doing much better.
Oh yeah, very much better, but like twice as good. But Bat missile versus Batmobile, I mean, even though the 92 movie is more popular than the 1905 movie, the vehicle of the Batmobile is much more iconic than the vehicle like a Bat ski boat or the Bat missile, right? And so what you gain in popularity with the movie, I think you lose in the popularity of the specific vehicles. So it's going to be a tight one, but it might work. And I'm really, I've said it before, I hope to be around for a long time. And I want to do all the Batman and DC Warner Brothers stuff that you guys will allow me to do. So I really hope there's going to be enough support to do the 1997 Batmobile, right? Because I want to see that lineup.
You need
like
it complete. That. Yeah, you've got to get
here.
You don't have a choice now, Yost. You got to make it.
We're gonna need a Batcave to store our Batmobiles,
right?
man.
No, I do appreciate it. And of course, Brian in here. What's
up?
Oh,
dude!
Thank you so much, Brian, dude, for that super chat, man, my friend. It says, yo, bros. Yost, thank you for your background.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for an awesome display room. I mean, we've had a lot of fans in here that are freaking out. We've had the Warner Brothers execs in here freaking out. This fun story, actually. The CEO, he previously he worked at Universal, and before that he worked at Disney. And he said, "Do you mind if I take some pictures, send them to my old colleagues?" And I'm like, "Dude, go ahead."
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Here, right?
That's so awesome, man. That is so awesome, man. So thank you very much. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Brian, I need more Moducases. Where I don't want to wait this.
Brian, everybody needs more Moducases, man. I love you, man.
Yeah,
everybody needs Moducases.
I got a lot of what I ordered, but I still need a few more because the carbon freezing chamber is sitting there on the floor, all sad and lonesome.
Yeah,
more
I feel
stuff,
that, man. I feel it there, but
Moducases rule.
Yeah, no, they do. They really do. They really do. But Brian, yeah, man, we all want some Moducases. For sure. But that guy Mark, thank you too as well, my friend, for the $10 super chat. As far as the paint, any chance it comes out darker, seems more gray in photos, or any chance we'll get a matte black version from Batman Returns? It definitely looks amazing so far.
Okay, I'm very glad that guy Mark asked that question. Let me dispel an incorrect fact first.
Okay.
The matte black version, well, they never made a matte black version. They made a satin version. That's 89. So what they did is repaint for Batman Returns. That was actually a high gloss version. Now, let's go through some videos and pictures here of the 1989.
Yeah, we've got questions. I mean, myself included, but even like JB, right? Any high quality photos from the flip flop paint, too low res or compressed on the Facebook group. Like, I was wondering, because we talked about that as you know the other night on my show. You posted some videos and a couple of photos here. and I was trying to see it, right? And I don't know if like we were kind of pausing and enhancing and trying to do detective work, because I know, like, whether it's a camera or a cell phone camera and lighting, it's different perspective, right, than seeing something in real life. And I didn't know if, like, is this like the first kind of test, or is this a set in stone, or are the colors
No, it's a test.
A lot of questions. So yeah, if we
So,
can go ahead and
let's go through the pictures, and I'll address all your questions, including the picture that guy Mark asked.
Okay.
So it's very hard to capture, but this is the pearl satin custom blend paint that does look different in different lighting, and I'll show you just how different, if we can go through. If you look closely, the reason why it looks slightly lighter is because there is that bit of green in there. And actually today, Andrea Sercha sent me a very cool video from a news show back in 1989 covering the launch of the 1989 Batmobile and Batman movie. And there's an interview with the guy who actually built it, and he said there's actually a little bit of blue and a little bit of green in there. But as soon as you add those colors, your black is going to be less black than if you just
right. Well, of course,
right.
You're adding another color.
So that's one of the things. The second thing that's a big issue, and you will see that when we go through those pictures, is the light makes a big difference, and all the movie shots are in extremely low light, right? So on top, you see the 1995. That is the same metallic satin blend in the base, but then as soon as you start adding that hint of green, that's when you get the picture below. Same paint, but that hint of green.
A hint of green. I am seeing a very, very subtle hint.
Yeah, but if you do more, then it's not, because the Batmobile most shots looks black. I mean, I never knew that there was another color in there until I started researching this thing. So, so yeah, but that's what happens when you add in something that's not black. It gets lighter, right? So, moving on to the next pictures, we then thought, well, maybe we should do another. So yeah, moving on, one more shot. No, that's not the shot I'm talking about. But again, it's a boom. There you go.
Okay, here we go.
This looks much darker. Same paint, just a couple of feet to the right. Go back to that previous picture. Here, the blacks look almost the same. If you go back.
So okay, so for
depends on the lighting and the angles.
So basically, what you're saying is these photos here, this photo, this photo, this photo, are all taken back to back in the same area. You're just in a different spot with different lighting, like your light's different. So okay.
So this is the V1 paint test that we did. So if you move on, this is still V1.
All right, let's keep going. Still
V1. You see a little bit of that green. You see, okay, here we get to the V2, because you see the canopy in the shot. We added a hint, and we did a clear coat on top of this. I thought it looked awesome, but in this, it looks quite shiny, right?
A little, yeah. We see a lot of the overhead light, like reflecting and.
All right, move on through the pictures, if you will.
All right.
That one.
Okay, so let's talk about this one then. Here, let's zoom in a little bit. There we go.
What do you think of this paint?
I think it looks great, but it's upside down. It's messing with my head, but
yeah. But look at the shade.
It's darker.
It's the same paint.
It's the same paint, but just
it's not been repainted. It's this is how different that paint looks in different circumstances and different lighting. So this is the big challenge. So we're going to do a third paint test, I think, but this is what I'm talking about. This actually, if you look at it this way and you get that a movie shot, flip this one 180 degrees. I've got a shot from the movie that looks just like that.
Just like that. Okay.
Dude, it's difficult. It is so difficult.
Man. Well, it's looking awesome, but okay, now we're back to this again. Okay, yes.
Yeah, but there's some more stuff behind that, I think.
Well, let's see. Let's go through a little bit. Maybe we missed out.
Yeah.
So we have here.
Again, same paint. This is that version 2 that looked almost gray. That was that guy Mark was worried about that. Same paint, different light. This is one. So this is again shows the differences. You see the actual air vents and then the grill beneath that. Yeah,
can you zoom in a
exactly,
little
Chewy. Yeah, it's not as
Okay.
black as it looks on screen. Exactly. If you look at it in daylight, it looks
Yeah, well,
gunmetal gray.
that happens a lot, and a lot of people may not realize, like in TV and film, there's differences between set color and like screen color. What we saw in the theaters or on television, it just depends on their lighting conditions and the way they've
Yeah.
color graded their film.
Exactly.
What we see as the final finished film versus like what's on set is definitely different. So when people, because that happens, people will want to have accuracy, but then they don't know, like they may think like that their accuracy is what they've seen visually, like in the film, versus what's the accuracy that was used on set.
Exactly.
Right, some of that's different.
This is my biggest challenge. I spend every day answering dozens and dozens of emails, and there's always a couple where people have a different image in their mind because they don't understand how the movie was made and how it looks in the movie and all that sort of thing. And I know with the test that we've been doing for the last few days, I've been crapping my pants because I know this is going to be a big issue. Just showing you the pictures, and everybody was like, dude, it's way too light. And then I'm showing you the different pictures where they say, yeah, it looks good. Same
And
paint.
it's the same paint,
So hard to do this right. And it's not, I'm not going to be able to please everyone because it's such a weird paint job, this one.
Yeah, but you know what? Honestly, dude, I have faith. I have faith in you, Joost, and what you guys are doing. So if there's any consolation, because I totally get that, right? Because the lighting is gonna depend. But I think when people start getting the 89 in hand, they get it in their display. Maybe they do like either spotlights or like certain lighting conditions, or how high that light is from the vehicle itself. It's going to cast so much different. I mean, I think it's going to look awesome. I really do.
Yeah. And it's, again, in this picture, it looks black, right? Same paint, looks black. Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks, Justin. And if you go back one more to that previous picture, you see that nose cone, the droopy nose cone. That is just right with that gunmetal paint instead of black. I mean, that's cool. Yeah. No, that you had the one.
Oops.
You had it.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
One more.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that's the droopy nose cone. I like that. I really like
do
that.
a little bit. Let's take some closer look.
Yeah.
Dude,
anyway.
Yeah.
And moving forward more, there's some exactly. Tom Cruise, only 5 feet tall. Yeah.
And that's
let's see what we got. One more. Oh yeah. This is cool. These are the pop-up panels where the machine guns hide, but then again we made it properly with the open pieces, and then there's the grills beneath that. I think that looks so cool.
Yeah, that looks awesome. This looks really badass. I do want to bring this up, but maybe we can. Well, I guess we can. I mean, okay, so 16 Star Wars Pimpozoid. Yeah, can we ask about paint defects? It seems to be a problem where we see most with JAZZINC. Fingerprints, badge strips, paint coming out for shipping mostly. So we talked about this a little bit ago.
Yeah,
you had a thing going on with the 2022, right? Where some people were like, "Oh, hey," but you were saying so there were 3 that had an issue.
Yeah,
out of, I forgot how many you said, but if
400 cars shipped, so less than 1%.
Okay, and then that was all taken care of.
Yeah. So it always is. So if you have a paint job where you can clearly see a fingerprint and you could identify somebody with it, we offer a free exchange. We pay shipping to and fro and offer free exchange or any other solution that you feel comfortable with. But that was for 3 people. But that's the thing with social media, especially when we're as visible as we are and we have the Facebook group. These things get blown way, way, way out of proportion.
Right. Yeah, because it was just the 3.
So frustrating.
Right? And
then and the thing is, we've had 4 or 5 people checking those cars. There's one theory that from a guy in the group, and I forget his name, I'm sorry, but I think that one makes most sense because I swear to God those fingerprints weren't there when we shipped it. But we use super glue on some parts, and I don't know if you've ever seen a detective show, but if you want to show fingerprints, what you do is you get super glue fumes in an enclosed space, and slowly the fingerprints will show. That might have happened with the thing when we shipped it or something for those 3 people. I don't know, or maybe these people had some more aggressive, what do you say, the finger oils? I don't know. But if you have 3 people that got the free replacement out of 400 cars shipped, that is so blown out of proportion. And I'm glad you bring that up, actually, because
go ahead, sorry.
now, well, I'm not going to say daily, but I get mails from people asking, could you please do the DeLorean properly? Could you please do the 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗠𝗘 properly? Because I have this issue, I have this issue. I've seen quality control pictures sent to me weekly from other brands that will curl your toes, but one way or the other, ours get blown up more because of the social media attention. And then
I don't really understand that, and you know me, I'll tell you how it is. If I'm like, yo, I don't know this or that, or this maybe needs improved or whatever. But yeah, I mean, this year alone, right, 2023, we've gotten a Back to the Future 2 DeLorean. The first batch was horrible. The axles were broke. It was a nightmare for a lot of people who got it. Didn't really hear too many complaints, at least not in the sense of like blowing it way out of proportion, right? And then you've got the Blitzway.
There were more than 3.
There were more than 3 for sure. Yeah. And to Hot Toys' credit, they fixed it. So cool. So I don't see the need to be right in the same note. Blitzway, though, I don't know. Their 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗠 Afterlife is great, but yeah, the stickers are like crooked. There was light bleed in the back. Some of the doors were broke or hanging. So it just goes to show everybody out there, it doesn't matter big or small of a company. I mean, there are going to be QC issues. It's how a company handles it, and if you're paying to and from shipping and customer satisfaction, then what is there to complain about? You know what I mean? I mean, I get I get it. You get something, I paid all this money and it's like messed up, but hey, you know what? It was taken care of. So
yeah,
that's just how
that's all you can do. Yeah, and stuff like that where the fingerprints show up later. We had we had one where we sent this, and thank God the guy was in Germany, because so it's very close, where we sent a video of the replacement we sent. He unboxed it, and there was a fingerprint, and it was not there on the video when we put it in the box.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I don't know. It's so
customs,
but if it's less than 1%, we're doing better than the industry. But it's like you said, even if it was more, it's how you handle it. As long as you fix it, you're fine, right? That's why we have the wait list, because we make those extra units that we can send as replacements if things get broken, if they get lost in shipment, or if there's other QC issues. Yeah, I'm very glad.
As it should be. Because I had a couple people reach out to me and mention that too. And they're like, hey, what should I do? And I said, well, did you contact, Joost? Did you get a hold of JAZZINC? Is there a resolution? Reach out first and foremost, right? Because, then come to me or anybody else if they're like, hey, you know what? I've reached out and they're just not responsive. They don't care, blah, blah, blah. Then, okay, you know what? Then rightfully you make a stink about something, right? Because you're like, hey, what the hell? Like, I'm not getting any help. So, but prior to that, I don't know why people blow things out of proportion that way. So yeah.
So I'm glad they asked the question.
100%. Because that's valid. There's people that want to know that. Again, on my show Tuesday, we brought that up where some were saying, well, hey, it's best to wait, right? And you and I talked about that a little, like, we said that on the show. Some people are like, oh, well, it's best to wait to get the JAZZINC product because the beginnings are they're not as good, and the final, like, oh, maybe I should wait to order till the very last second so I can get the last batch because the last batch is going to be better than the earlier. I've been hearing a lot of that. So it was like,
I said that. I'll admit to that. That was also me. So
but the thing is, that is because of the first batch of this. I think it's the first batch of the Falcon that we did back in 2017. So this is 6 years ago. But those things, they stick around, and even then, it wasn't a mistake. We did a vote, and it was about the front glass, and people wanted to be able to remove the front glass because in the movie they actually didn't have any glass in the cockpits. But other people voted, yeah, I want glass because of dust protection. And so then we did, okay, can't we do both yet? But we didn't need to do the screws. So then people got the screws, and then people were losing their shit over the screws. And I made the mistake of changing midstream. I should not have done that. I should have stuck with the design that the people voted on. And then people were like, yeah, and now other people got, and you covered up the screws. Yeah. And those people can't remove the glass anymore. It's the consequence. And I've learned my lesson. I'm not doing that anymore. But ever since then, yeah, you don't get the first batch. Don't get the first batch. And it's like, oh, this has been 6 years, people. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
And I agree. I do. I've tried to make that claim as well, because I would feel that way too if I was getting stuff all the time, and I'd be like, oh, okay. But if it was that long ago, I totally understand. Like it's you know, you've improved so much from then, I think. Yeah. You know, I think a lot of people have, you know, personally. So, you know, it's just like, hey guys, come on. But Jay, brother Cousin's in the house, man. He couldn't make it today. He was gonna
man. Nice to hear from you.
He said, yeah, this is the reason why Hot Toys doesn't engage with social media. We should be grateful for Joost's transparency.
I believe, there are days when I think Hot Toys might not have been so stupid when they just don't communicate.
Well, it is.
There are days.
Here's the thing, like it's with anything. It's you're putting yourself out there to the public, right? So in any medium, if there's some type of figurehead in anything, and you're putting yourself out there, you're always going to be open. Not only of positivity, but a lot of criticism, and then there's always going to be that. So, and the more you're out there, right, the more people are going to be like, oh, hey, let's this or that. Whereas with Hot Toys, there's just like, oh, look, something dropped. Like there's no, you know what I mean? But I think everybody appreciates that level. Like when we do these updates, or when you do updates in the Facebook group, or showing, hey, look, we're on month 6 now of the 89. Like, look what we've done since last time. Like, look what we're trying to bring to you guys to give you like the best version, or how we're testing this and seeing how this works. People like that. That's interesting. These are people that are dedicated fans. So to get that kind of that level of communication, I think that goes a long way. I really do.
Yeah, and it's fun. I've been looking forward to this all day. I am. So 90% of it's fun, and it's just when things like that, those 3 cars with fingerprints get so blown out of proportion that I think, oh man, just shoot me now. That's it. But yeah.
No, I'm with you.
It's with all jobs, right? There's always less.
Yeah, it's always going to happen. But I would say, hey, speaking of the 2022, we should probably bring this up. Yeah. Some John Wick over here, huh?
Nice.
That's awesome. A customer picture. I thought it was very cool. I thought it was very cool.
So these are the final production shots, correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, these are all customer pictures. So this is
these are all
stuff from all customer pictures. Yeah. So this is all in hand. And again, glad you brought this up. So in 2 weeks from now, we're going to be done with all the batches of the clean 2022. So everybody's on a payment plan and who wants us to ship it before Christmas, or just wants to help us out, pay it off. We'll ship it before Christmas, mid-December, somewhere around the 10th to the 15th is probably when we'll ship them out. And so that means all the batches for everybody who's got the clean one, even if you're so we're ahead of schedule there. Same for the weathered version, though that's going to be around January 6th or 7th. But then again, all batches are going to be done. So everybody within like a little over a month, whether it's clean or whether it's weathered, we're going to be done with the whole run for the 2022. Everybody can get their car. And again, if I don't have to hold on to it for you, that only helps me too. So yeah, but this is the production version.
It's a great photo.
Yeah, I think so too. I saved a couple of pictures from customers. I thought, man, that looks cool.
Yeah, me. It's hard for me to say no, because the vehicle's awesome, but then it's like space. And 89 is really where I'm, most excited for. But I think this turned out great. I do. I mean, I've heard a lot of people who've gotten theirs in hand and are extremely happy with it.
I gotta say, I finally got to see this movie, and then watching this scene, it made me think about trying to pick up a car, but I'm like, I shouldn't. I really should. It's an amazing looking car, man, and to see you, bring it out there to life into the collector's hands, it went pretty good.
Great movie. What do you think? What do you think of the movie?
It was a little slow for me personally. I thought it was pretty good overall. It was pretty good. It's just for me, it just took me a while just to get through it, just because of all the I don't know, all of the build up. It was a little bit slow for me personally. The pacing was a little bit slow, but overall, I did enjoy it.
Yeah, but it looks really, really good.
Oh man,
nice
it's such cool customer pictures, right? Oh, and can I share one more cool thing about this?
Yeah, of course.
Adam Savage and Norm from Tested also got a weathered version, and theirs is scheduled to ship out, I think next week, somewhere like that. And they said they might do a video on it, maybe even before the end of the year. So even though it's sold out, that's just cool. That is cool.
No, that's gonna be really, that'll be cool. Those guys are great over there too.
Yeah.
And this is cool too, because you decided with this to do 2 versions, right?
Yeah.
The regular, the weathered. That's
people
cool.
Asked, they made.
Well, was that originally on the docket, or do you think, or was that a direct result of community interaction with you?
Oh yeah, definitely community interaction, because they made several versions, and one is like you see in this picture, and one is extremely weathered. And people thought that one, the weathered version, if you go to YouTube and search the Paris premiere, you'll see the weathered version, and people thought that it was just this muddy from the rain. But I've been in contact with the guys on set for about a year since before the movie came out, when we were developing this in 6 scale, and this is actually the weathering job as we painted on it is actually painted on that vehicle as well. So there's different versions in the movie. There's different versions that they made, clean and weathered, and some people dig the clean, other dig the weathered. I have the weathered because I like that one better.
Oh, is that what's in the back right there? That's the weathered one?
Yeah, it's hard to see from here, but that is the weathered one. And so yeah, the community feedback. Can't you make 2 versions? I generally prefer to keep it to 1 version. It's just easier that way and more efficient. But in terms of a paint and weathering job, it's the same as the snow speeder. When people asked, "Oh, could you do the gray? Are you doing the gray or are you doing the orange? Right. Can't you do both?"
Well, that's kind of what's kind of cool, like we were mentioning a little earlier, just being involved in the community, going after customer feedback and concerns or ideas. That's really cool, because I get it, right? Ideally, from a production standpoint, you're like, well, we'll just make a vehicle. When you're interacting with the community and you're really seeing the demand, you're like, maybe this is, we could do this. Maybe we could, if this seems like, there is a demand for it. And then you get the final result, which was awesome. People got, their clean versions. The other people that wanted their weathered got the weathered versions. And they got it ends up being a win-win for everybody.
And again, with the snow speeder, making both versions and making the improvements, like the subtle details, like around the grill here, there should just be a little bit of gray. The orange shouldn't be touching that. All that sort of thing and detail. That's the feedback from the customers. Like Jason Begat is one of those Hawkeyes. Like I said, Andrea Sercha is a big influence on the all the accuracy and detail you're seeing on the 1989 Batmobile. I've got Eric Seltzer on the 1966 projects. So there's a lot of people, right? So we got William Babington on the 1989. He helped a lot. He's the guy who got the pedal correctly.
Oh, okay.
So there's so many people I need to shout out to. For the Jedi Starfighter, it's Marcel Lootholz, and I'm going to look up his name because I forget. But so there's the community feedback is such a boon to all of us, to me, but all of us for the increased detail and accuracy. Yeah, it's in Ramos and Barry Murray as well, by the way.
Okay.
For the Jedi Starfighter.
That's really
so
cool, man.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's the thing. Right? There's things that maybe you wouldn't have done or overlooked. So I mean, within having that community is amazing. So. I do have a couple quick super chats though, real quick if I can. Rock'em Chris for 5, my man, thank you, dude. He says most of us have smart plugs. Any way we can get rid of remotes and just have them turn on when plugged in.
Please.
Well, thank you, my man.
The thing is, that would mean I can't do certain features like the different sounds.
Yeah, that is
or
true.
the smoke, or the blinking lights, or so. And for the 1989, again, this is not confirmed, but I'm hoping to add more than one sound because there's so many cool. If I can get away with it, I'm going to do some movie clips like where does it get those wonderful toys, and get in the car, which one? Oh, that one. You know.
Well, it's kind of like the Falcon cockpit, right? You have the different sounds and like kind of clips and things like that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise if it was just an on-off switch.
Exactly. And so with the remote, it's just
No, totally.
When I get to work in the morning, I have a smart plug that turns on all the lights on the Moducases, and then I have to switch a couple of remotes to get the 1966 going, get the 2022 going, but then I do have the features.
I think that's really cool, but I get it. When there's multiple features, I think the remote's great personally.
Yeah.
But with I just don't like toggle buttons that are like push.
I agree. I agree.
Those are what's annoying to me.
So is there any like possibility instead of like a hardware remote or alongside with a hardware remote, is an actual mobile app out of the realm of possibility for some of these things?
Yeah, well, we thought about this mobile app. The problem with a mobile app is, especially for a collectible, and that's a thing that can last decades, right? A mobile app would stop working. There just wouldn't be a support after so many iOSs or what have you, right? So that's what I'm worried about. Not only the work in keeping it updated,
consistent development,
every time there's a new operating system for Android and iOS, but then to have something that you could control 10 years from now, which is, I expect you to have these collectibles for tens of years, dozens of years, whatever. So that's why I haven't done the mobile app and gone for custom hardwired remotes and power supplies.
No, totally. That makes sense. That totally makes sense. Guys, we're going to move on here a little bit to a couple more products here. I'm just going to do a couple of quick questions as I can, guys. Again, we're trying to, see if we can get through as many questions as we can today. But Johnny was wondering, does anybody how is the half body Keaton coming? Is that something still in idea form, or is this kind of proof of concept or nothing? Or
we're with the contract with Warner Brothers. So basically, the contract is every 3 years, right? And so for the new contract, we're expanding the contract at their request. But the figures is such a different and difficult category that it's now been 14 months, and every country has to have their say. And since we've got a worldwide license, that's a lot of people. And now we've gotten pretty much everywhere, like they had pre-approved, and now we're getting some pushback from the United States. So we have to wait and see how that pans out.
Okay.
So it might be possible that we do the figures and we will be able to sell them to every country in the world except the United States. And we don't know what triggered that.
Well, yeah, right.
Especially since we've got South Korea, not a problem, and that's the base for Hot Toys, right? And even in China, where there's InArt, we're talking about on an SKU level approval for figures. But now the United States has thrown a wrench in the works a couple of weeks ago, and we don't know why, and we don't know who they're trying to protect or who asked them to do that. So, and it's only for the USA, so it's not really? Like North America. It's so, and that's from the last few weeks, and so. How's the half-body Keaton coming along? I'm waiting to hear how this is going to pan out before developing toys or figures at all.
Well, right, because if you can't even make half a figure, right, then it's like, okay, well, wait, we gotta figure this out before we can really.
And the thing is, it makes no sense, right? Because we've got some fans high up in the United States, and one of them is the guy doing the anti-piracy thing, and he's like, with all the stuff that JAZZINC is planning to do, the only companies that are threatened are the illegal Chinese companies doing those smaller figures that the big companies are not interested in, right? I mean, Hot Toys has never shown an interest in doing, I don't know, a penguin or the 19.
I'm just guessing, but maybe like McFarlane or Sideshow or you know what I mean?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's just guess.
Why would McFarlane care about what we do in 6 scale?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
know. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Just guessing.
But yeah, so that's the answer to the question.
Okay. Well, fair. I appreciate the response. And sci-fi and superheroes says, "Dear Joost, will you be doing any other Bat bikes in the future?"
I don't think so. I mean, we've gotten the 2022 Bat bike. Actually, I hear that's starting to ship now. They've done the Bat Pod from Hot Toys, and then are there any other Bat bikes? Well, we're doing the 1966 Bat bike, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's, I'm assuming he knows this. But so other Bat bikes, I don't see any other Bat bikes that haven't been done. So
that's fair. Well, I mean, like from others, right? Yeah, because you've got, Hot Toys is putting out the 2022 Bat Cycle.
Yeah.
Which totally though. No, I mean, I think that's really cool either way. But guys, I do have just a couple of super chats too. I want to try to get through. And we're gonna keep moving on here. But $5 Pedro Lopez, thank you so much, my man. He said I had one of the 22s with the fingerprints.
Yep.
I mean, email JAZZINC, conversation was smooth. I was sent a replacement unit within a week. Thank you very much for that super chat and for that.
Thank you, Pedro.
That's awesome. So there you have it, guys. I mean, heard from Joost, heard from one of the people who actually had an issue. I do appreciate that, my man. Appreciate the support. And another $5 from Zach16. Thank you so much, my man. He says, Batwing up on DC Shop. Congrats. I'm still hopeful you will consider making a 12 scale version. Let's go Batman will fit nicely. I have your 66 Batmobile.
Thank you. I'm going to go to that DC shop as soon as we're done with the stream. I'm very curious to see how it looks. But yeah, so with the 12 scale version, as soon as we do that Kickstarter for the 1989 Batmobile and that's a success, then it makes sense to do the 1989 Batwing in 12 scale, right? I mean,
right.
Hot Toys did sort of tease something like that. I don't know if they're going to make it. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess we'll see. And one more before we get into the 95, because we do want to talk about that here in a minute too. But he's 16 Star Wars Pimps says, so is the Jedi Starfighter going to happen? I already ordered my Anakin one.
Yeah. So we've decided to go ahead. I did post about that in the Facebook group. I did a video on YouTube as well last week. But we are going to address the Jedi Starfighter later in the stream. I have some pictures that I sent to you. But yeah, so it is going to happen. We did a poll a couple months ago where people we did a poll that was something that was requested, I think, in one of your live streams, to also give them the option for the Anakin pod racer. But then again, the Jedi Starfighter won. Then I let the people know how much it would be and what size it would be, and then put up another poll, how many people are going to back us. And for the longest time, it looked like a lot of people that did that poll didn't put their money where their mouth is. We're still not completely there, but we were so close that I thought, okay, I'm just going to trust the community, and we're going to go ahead and make it, and hope that people, once they see it and see the prototype, there will be some more people to get us to that minimum order quantity.
Yeah, because see, I thought, look, I think it's cool. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like maybe it's just my opinion, but I thought something from OT would be more up people's alleys. I mean, at the end, right? Like if you dropped an X-wing or a TIE fighter, or at least the cockpits of them, or something like that, I could.
Please don't say that. Don't give any more ideas, please.
Well,
I take it.
Yeah, this comparison, but you said that this is the one that won the votes.
Yep, exactly. And I thought, especially since people had seen the Hot Toys prototype thing, and the beauty of that thing is it's a cool design, and it's the only other vehicle beside the Snowspeeder that is doable in size. So we can even ship it in a smaller box than the Snowspeeder, because you can flip those wings down, right? And so I thought, especially with that Hot Toys tease from a couple of years ago, this was a shoe-in for at least the minimum that we needed, right?
Right.
And so I thought, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. But like with everything, we're going to be making a prototype and not closing the pre-orders before then. So the people who are waiting for a prototype before they commit, no problem. You will see what we are going to make and what it will contain before we close the pre-orders.
Okay. Well, no, and that's what we mentioned earlier, right? Like before pre-orders close down, you're going to have something final for everybody to see, for those who, which I understand, right? Because on one hand, there's like, okay, you want to be excited and you want to show like what's coming, but at the time there's nothing. So it's like, hey, here's our proof of concept. You know, we're working on this. Here's some ideas. I get the reservations because I'm one of those guys too, right? I'm not going to buy anything based off a render, but watching it, you know, and that's just me being real, right? I want to see something, but you give people that opportunity. So I appreciate, you know, seeing the journey first, right? And kind of give me an idea of like, oh, okay, so this is kind of where he's going with this. Okay, I like that. I like this, and then boom, we see.
Exactly, but I do want to address something there. I mean, I don't know if it was in one of your streams a long time ago, a couple of weeks ago, or another, but people were like, dude, he's now a bigger company. Well, not really, but okay, I see what you mean, because we got the license and he has to show a product that I can order. But the thing is, if I do that, then I become a Hot Toys, and then it's like, okay, this just dropped, I can't change anymore because this is the product. And that's not the way we work, right? So we show the renders, and we've always delivered on the detail and going beyond what we render initially. And then for those people who want to wait to the prototype, you can. That's fine. But we can't do what those people suggested in that stream, to just make something fully fledged and done and finished, put it up for pre-order, and not have that cool process where we get it to be much more accurate, get those cool ideas like make 2 versions, make the weathered one, make a clean one like the 2022, or whatever. So that's just not the way we work. We're here at the behest of the community, not a company just making products and dumping them in the marketplace. So,
and I can totally respect that, because the problem is the world that we live in nowadays, where we have social media everywhere. We got YouTube, everything's at our disposal, like instantly, right? So and we're all interested, right? We're all fans, we're all collectors, you know. So of course, if news breaks out about it, we're going to want to check it out regardless. Regardless. You know, if this was it may not work if it was pre-internet days, but the fact that you're showing stuff off, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but not everybody needs to look at all that, right? Some people don't, though, right? Some people don't know, and then they just later on find it. They stumble upon it, and they're like, oh, what is this? There's a vehicle. So I get it, because we're all like wanting stuff. That's what we do. We collect things. So when people just start seeing like early concepts, stuff like that, I get the reservation, right? We're all buried in under pre-orders and companies vying for our wallets left, right, and center. So I get the instinct naturally, right? Is that, oh, well, wait, I gotta see it. I gotta see something, you know, tangible first, you know, before I throw some things in. But the flip side is, like you said, we're just showing, we're going along and talking with community. You're getting other options, you're getting new ideas, you're getting updates on things that you didn't know that might have been, you know, you're trying to get that level of accuracy over time. That's part of the game, right, with you. I mean,
I mean, with the 2022, we kind of had to with the launch of the movie, but in general, if people ask us to with a vote to make something, I would never make something without taking the journey, the journey, take them on the journey and getting the feedback. I mean, on the on the Jedi Starfighter, people were asking, oh, wouldn't it be cool, because I can do the blue smoke thing, to have those 2 jet exhausts do the blue smoke thing? And I thought, yeah, that's a very cool idea, but with the support not even being close to the minimum order quantity right now, I can't add those features like I can easily do that with the 1989 Batmobile, right? So it's a catch-22.
Yeah, but I think it works out. I think at the end results, I mean, you're seeing the end results. I mean, if it was a failure, then you know, we wouldn't be here right now, right? So that's funny, Hector. Come on now, we all know prequel fans. Hey, shots fired in the chat, man. Let's shake.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's funny, man. But yeah, so speaking of those, so these are some of the shots of the Anakin Starfighter renders that you got going on. Is there any? I don't recall, so forgive me, but is there anything new in here from the last time we spoke that I may have just
yeah, detail, more detail to the cockpit, more accuracy. We're now to the point where we're actually ready to go into prototype because
oh really?
Yeah, we've gotten like I said, 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗔𝗏 Ramos, Marcel Lothold, Barry Murray. We gotten so many. Oh, and this is cool. Oh, I forgot. I didn't even tell you guys. So he wishes to remain anonymous, but this has and the latest video I done where I show the renders has caught the attention of somebody who worked on the prequels, who worked on the Jedi Starfighter on the prequels, and he thought they were cool enough that he wanted to order one of each. And he had a bunch of questions like, are you going to do the Orobesh text on the side of the cockpit? And I'm like, dude, I didn't even know it was there. If you could tell me what was there, yes, if you could tell me what was there, we'll certainly add it. And so I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I mean, so yeah, so we are working on a physical prototype where we have added some more details to this thing, and we are going to add some more details thanks to the feedback from somebody who actually worked on this very vehicle on
really
the
cool
movie set. Yep. So yeah,
Amazing.
this is going ahead, and it's going ahead very fast because of this amazing detail and accuracy we already managed to get through those three people I mentioned.
Dude, that's awesome. That's so we're really close then, basically, to entering production.
No, well, to making the prototype, right? So
it's prototype, yeah, not quite.
Yeah. So there's the design of it, the detailing, and then you translate that into something with the correct wall thicknesses, ejection angles, parts that you could prototype it and then test if your ideas in the 3D space, virtual space work. Put it together, paint it, and then see if everybody approves. And then you engineer that for production, make the molds, and make it. And in terms of such a Star Wars thing that is so incredibly small, it's all custom made to order, but this is really custom made to order. It's the support for the Star Wars stuff is nowhere near the support for a Batman product.
Isn't that strange? I mean, do you think that has anything to do? Does that have anything to do with license, or do you just think that has something to do with the popularity of IP? Because some of us would just say that's blasphemous, right? Be like, what do you?
Yeah, I wouldn't expect this either,
not, right? Like,
yeah. It's true, but it's been this way even before I was licensed. So it's not a licensing thing, really. It's just Star Wars is not as popular as Batman, and I wouldn't have guessed, but that's the reality. And part of that I can explain because Star Wars is very popular in the States and in certain English-speaking countries like, and of course, Australia and the UK, like the Netherlands, where they speak very good English. Asia, not so much. Other countries, not so much. Whereas Batman, the whole world loves Batman. So
you're not wrong. I mean, who doesn't love Batman? I mean, there's some, but, you know,
it's weird, and I wouldn't have guessed it a couple of years ago. But this is my reality. Batman is king. That's true, Sean.
Yeah,
that's it.
It is rough though, because there are, I mean, I love Batman as well, but there's a lot of us who love Star Wars too. So older Star Wars, you know, so seeing stuff like that, like that's what irritated me, right? Because a lot of the stuff that you've made is done that I wanted, you know, like that Bespin Gantry scene, you know, the freaking come on, man, like you gonna sell that one to me, or you gonna
no, I'm glad I finally got it back. I
know, right? I know, I'm kidding, but that's what I'm saying. So I mean, there are you would think there's a demand, but then you know you got to step back and be like, well, who's actually buying? Like, are you fulfilling the orders? Like, in the comparison, like, whoa, what?
I get that a lot of people, well, there are a couple of people that are like, dude, it's all Batman all the time. I can tell you, if I wasn't such a huge MF Star Wars fan, there would not be any Star Wars products because they don't make sense from a business perspective at all. So the reason why I keep doing this is because I want the stuff myself. I want the Jedi Starfighter. I want to do an X-Wing cockpit because I want one for myself. I hope we can do an N1 Starfighter one day because I want them, not because it makes any business sense. Just to give you an idea, that new True Scale Death Star you asked about, made from solid metal, light up features, everything, it's going to be a couple of dozen worldwide.
Yeah, that's it.
That is it. A couple of dozen worldwide. I mean, like I said, I started this as a hobby. And as a collector and as a passionate Star Wars fan, I'm doing this. I keep doing this. As a business owner, I should look myself in the mirror in the eye and say, what are you doing? I mean, right? I'm really risking a lot doing that Jedi Starfighter. So
yeah, I mean, you are. Listen, I mean, I say this amongst my friends and other peers in the community, and I just said it 10 minutes ago, right? I'm like, I'm not interested. I mean, it's fascinating, right? And I think what you're doing is cool. That's not what I mean, but I'm just not a prequel kind of Jedi Starfighter. I would, sooner get like I said, an X-Wing or a TIE Fighter or, OT. That's me, right? That's just,
yeah.
But maybe that's not just me. And that's kind of what you're seeing sometimes too. Like you're mentioning, like, yeah, I'm taking kind of a risk here because how many are really, like you're saying, your numbers aren't, there. But for those who want it, as Bob says, risking for the Republic, which is pretty funny.
Bob is always there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the thing is, for years people have been screaming at me, and there's a couple with loud voices. Yeah, why you should do prequel? That'll sell stuff and sell out and blah blah blah. And now we see it. And the most requested vehicle from the prequels only made it because I gambled because I really want it, and not because it was. Because people put their money where their mouth is, not because it was a smart business decision. That's basically what it is.
Right. No, totally. Boba Fett G, man. What about the N1? Is Mario's beard safe?
Of course it's safe, man. I said, hey. I said if Hot Toys came out with one, yeah, it would probably come off. If Yoast does it, by all means, my beard is safe. I believe in Yoast more than Hot Toys right now. I believe that Yoast will actually bring it out more than Hot Toys right now. So yeah. Beard is safe, guys.
That is pretty funny. Guys, we're gonna bring this up, man, because I know we don't have a whole lot of time left, but we do have the 1995, right? Batman Forever.
Yep. So that's I'll be putting up a video. I've sent you something that we could show. We've done a video of the final production version. This is the box. The green is going to be a little bit darker in the actual production of the box, though. It's slightly too light, but this is the box design, the test print for that. And we're basically we're into production for the 1995, and I expect to start shipping the first units by the end of January. So it's all really close, right? We got the 2022s almost done completely. We got Bat Signals shipping before Christmas. Then early January we got the last of the Weathered 2022 shipping. Then mid-January we got the last of the Batwings shipping. Then end of January, early February, we got the 1995s shipping, and then the 89 is right after that, somewhere Q2. So that's all coming out in a couple of months' time. We're talking. I mean, between now and April or May, all of those products I mentioned, including the 1989, will be out for delivery.
So then you have to do the Batman and Robin.
I hope so, because believe it or not, even though I did not like the movie, I think that is a pretty cool design, and I want them all. Well,
yeah, because now it's a matter of like just you have a gap in the chain.
Yeah.
Like, well, shoot, like we need to get that. So
yeah. So this is final production on the.
Yeah, so we have two vehicles here. Is there a difference here?
No, just one to show you the open cockpit. That's it.
Okay, that's just okay. That's we got one open, one closed. Okay.
Yeah. As you can see, the glass is now darker.
Yeah.
In that if compared to the prototype. So
I gotta tell you, this thing looks tiny compared to that 89.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
When you were showing the side by side there with them, I was like,
yeah. The wheelbase on the 89 is so much bigger. But again, that 1995 right there, that fills the DF120 Moducase to the brim. I mean, there's not a millimeter of space left here.
Just barely fit.
Yeah, so that's not a small vehicle, especially with the wing, right?
True.
So
yeah.
It looks small compared to the 1989 because, oh yeah, this is also fun because people are debating the size, and with that that morning show from 1989, the clip that Andrea sent me, the guy who built the 1989 said the original is almost 23 feet long. If you take that and divide it by 6, you get to that 110 centimeters that I've been saying that thing should be. Those 4 to 5 inches longer than it should be. So anyway,
yeah, man,
confirmed.
And we talked about this earlier, but I think and I think Hector brought it up in the chat as well. But the 89, when you can, I think it would be good to do a short video. Comparing that to Hot Toys, but maybe just not talk about anything, just kind of a silent video that, hey, here's the difference between these two versions, and then there's no more dialogue, and you just kind of, so people
let
can
the product itself speak for itself.
Yeah, I mean, just to show.
Yeah, I'm so glad you bring this up. I saw that in your stream, and I was like, it would be so easy for me to do. I have a friend who has the 1989 Hot Toys version. I could easily set them side by side.
I'd be interested myself. Yeah.
And it would sell itself, but it feels so like I'm taking a cheap shot at Hot Toys because
but if you don't really, right? Like if it was me, like that's what I would do. I'd be like, hey guys, Joost here. Here's I'm just going to show you a side by side comparison of R8 1989, and here's the Hot Toys version. Enjoy. And then there's no more dialogue, and you just
Yeah, let's get a couple of people in the chat. Say what you think. How does that sound to you without any comments? But because I have to do the close-ups between the front and the side and show the differences and then it inevitably shows the inaccuracies in the Hot Toys version. It is going to show the massive size difference. It's going to show the different paint. It's going to show I got to show both the electronics and the difference in the electronics that we can offer. It feels like,
well, the thing is,
I can't lose, but it's a cheap shot.
Well, I mean, I get your point because you want to, as a company, show off and highlight your features, right?
Yes.
But I don't think there's a way to do it where you're like, oh, hey, listen, so we have this feature here, but then don't follow up the sentence and be like, where Hot Toys does not have it, right? Because then that's where you're feeling where you're coming off from, right? I think.
Yeah,
you want to show off your features, but I mean, you also want to show off the detailing, the comparison, and with gracefully, right? Because it's just two different products from two different companies. I think they're both going to be great for what they are. Hot Toys has got their version, a little cheaper. Yours is a little bit more money. Seemingly you're putting a lot more care into it, but that's not. It's hard, right? Because you don't want to take a jab, right?
No, and I mean, yeah, and of course, their version is much cheaper, and so if you don't care as much about the 1989, I've been saying this from the start, by all means buy the Hot Toys versions. I've got more than enough orders. But yeah, and the side by side, Bob is right, the side by side is going to be done, but then it wouldn't have been done by me, and I wouldn't seem like a jerk. So man, I really want to do it. I really want to do it because I think I would sell a couple of units if I did that.
Well, here's the problem, right? Because I would do it. Right, I'll do the video, but the problem with that is by the time that happens, it's already out.
Yeah,
see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, well, too little, too late, right? Like you want to kind of show it prior, for pre-order cutoffs, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because by then it's like, oh, who cares? It's sold out. I mean, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So okay, I'll just do the video then that way and say, people asked for a comparison because so they can make a decision. I'm not going to comment on anything. I'm just going to show them side by side. I'll be silent throughout, and you make your own decision. You make your own comparisons. And if you say, I don't see much of a difference, or I don't see any difference, then the Hot Toys is for you.
Listen,
Simple as that.
You have your sale page, right? If I go to I go to JAZZINC and I go buy a 89 Batmobile, I'm reading, what are the features? So it's redundant at that point to even highlight it in the video, right? Because you're like, hey, listen, this is all our, check it out on the site, or watching streams, or joining your Facebook group. People will know through other avenues what all the features entail, right? Your bullet points, of like, this is what we have. But that physical, and I put a poll in the chat for you guys too, if you guys want to vote. So far 85% people are saying they'd like to see a side by side. Yeah,
and so, but here, like Mary says, trust your instincts, or Euler's Workshop says, keep your conscience clear, don't do it. So there's, if I do this, even if 80% says I should do this, there's going to be 20%, and there's going to be a loud 20% that's going to give me a bad day, a bad weekend, because they're going to crush me, because I am. It's like you said, it reminds me of a poem. It's about the man in the arena, and it's hard being the man in the arena because the audience can judge and they're safe up there, right? But I'm the man in the arena doing this at your request, but I'm going to get pommeled by some people for taking a cheap shot at Hot Toys anyway. But you're right. If you wait for the reviews, then it's too late, because then I'll have closed the pre-orders. So
yeah, that's my only reason. But then if you do it, then some people are going to be like, well, look, it's his product, so it's naturally biased. And it's like, but not if there's no dialogue. I mean,
it perfectly shows my day-to-day business is difficult, because most times I can't win. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, listen, there's gonna be people out there that like you, and there's going to be people out there that don't like you.
Yeah.
In general, I'm just saying in general in life. I mean, we're all deal with that. So if the people that are into it want to see it, I totally get it. And it's a tricky. What do you think, Mario? Is it weird? Is it a bold move? Is it wise?
No, I don't think it's weird at all, man. I can understand like some of the potential issues that or concerns that you may have as well. But for me right now, like CT mentioned earlier, that he has his money tied with the Hot Toys one right now, but yet still curious and maybe on the fence about the JAZZINC version. I'm in the same camp. I do have the 89 on order right now, but I've always wanted to see, what will I be getting with the JAZZINC version, right? So that side by side comparison, that can get me off the fence. You even said you have like plenty of orders right now to fulfill what you need to.
Yeah, I don't need more orders.
Yeah, but for those that actually really are not sure and want to have that extra sense of assurance that they could have a better product, or the differences are that much more, that of side by side comparison could help.
Well, I don't think it's a bullet point. Like the video is not, the context of the video is not showing direct, hey, this is all the pros.
No. Like you said, you don't need to point all that out. It's just let the product speak for itself.
But I subscribe to Bob's, comment and ideology. Cobra Kai.
No mercy.
All right.
Like, man.
Out there, right? Put it out there. But no, and all kidding aside, he's right. Right. This is vital consumer info, not just a cheap shot. If you keep it classy, let the images speak. So.
Yeah.
I guess only you can decide, my friend. I mean, I'd like to see it, but.
Yeah. I will
sweep the leg, Joost. That's great. That's great. I'm sorry, but go ahead. Just made me laugh.
But that sweep the leg. Fuck that. I'm Daniel's son in this scenario always.
Well, maybe not. You would be all right. No. I understand the position you feel like you're in, but go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'll think about it. Maybe I'll put it up. Maybe, who knows? I'll make the footage and I'll send it to you, Anthony, and you can decide what you want to do with it.
Yeah, that's cool. I can just leave my own commentary on it. I mean, that works. I can just be like, hey, look, I get an opportunity to look at both of these, and here's the differences. Here's the pros and cons. You decide.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, whatever. So I'm thinking. I'm gonna think about it. I would love to do the video because then people could finally see what I've been talking about. What we've been working on for past year, getting right. So yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Yeah. I'm again glad you brought this up. With all the other questions about potential issues, first batch things, I'm so glad I can get to just answer that question, clear the air, wherever, you know. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yep. Okay. So maybe that's what will happen, guys. We had that all right. So we're almost done here. We got the 95. We were looking through here. We had.
You have one more video of the 95. I would like you to see.
Let's see if I can bring that back in here. Video. Yeah. Let's just swing it back in, and then we can take a look. So we got a couple of.
Right. Oh yeah. So we didn't see those pictures yet. So this is the final product version interior. There's also some pictures that show what's on the underside of the roof if you scroll past, and there's this is the with the light up center console, the very uncomfortable seats. The
yeah, they don't look very comfy at all.
No, but yeah, the light up lights, the wheels spin, but then the centered thing stays. This is what I was talking. Yeah, this is what I wanted.
That thing.
Yeah.
All right,
so this is my son. He is 6'4", 6'5", so he's a big boy.
Wow. All right. Yeah.
Because I'm 6'8", so he got it from somewhere. But just to giving you a bit of a sense of scale here. This is the final production version. Oh, he's pointing out he likes those little red details with the whatever.
Damn, that looks badass.
Yeah.
Bro, did you say you're 6'8"?
Yeah.
Good God, man! Damn. Wow.
He was 501st, right? Darth Vader.
I was Darth Vader. Yes, I was. Wow. I was the official Dutch Darth Vader for a couple of years. Yeah, that was so cool.
It's awesome. God, this looks really Okay, let's see, guys. I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah, exactly. So this is it. This is a final production version. This is what people will be getting.
That's nice.
Yeah, and interesting little detail, by the way. In the Netherlands, there's a lot of tall people. I was when I grew very big, even in primary school. They could make a calculation of how tall I would be. I would have been over 7 feet if they hadn't given me some medication to slow my growth down. So I'm 6 feet after slowdown. Yeah.
Well, that's probably for the best.
Yeah, I think so too. Now I fit in most clothes and most cars, but
wow. Yeah, that's pretty so Johnny said, so Joost, were you able to do the split wing?
Nope. No. We barely made the minimum pre-order on the 95, which is why I'm scared to do anything other. I've seen it in the chat here. I've seen the requests. Can't you do the Bat boat and the Bat wing from 95? I mean, even if the Batmobile is only barely made the minimum pre-orders, we couldn't do any extras, right? We couldn't do the smoke here. I mean, we could do the DC power. We could do the lights. And so this is what you wanted. This one on a smart plug would just light up and be done, right? But it's not. It doesn't have any extras because there's just no budget. It's really down to the support 101. You know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I agree. That does look beautiful. That's funny, man. X-Men. So what you're saying is I need to go to the Netherlands to find my dream Amazon woman?
Oh, jeez.
I think the average height of the Dutch woman is taller on average than the height of the U.S. The American male.
I believe it's 5'9", 5'8" for the American male.
I'm 6'2", so
yeah, I'm 6'3".
Yeah, geez. Oh, I'm not sure. $2 super chat though, my man. Thank you so much. Does the Kilmer Batman fit in this, Joost? Did you try that? I mean,
we rendered it in and then it fit, but I got that figure and it's got the rubber suit, and I didn't want to
destroy your figure.
No, because because if you close the canopy, you won't see him, and even if you have the canopy open like in the movie, you'll hardly see him. So I chose for all my other Batman vehicles, I have the Batman in or around the vehicle, though I do prefer around to give more sense of scale and you see more of the figure. But in this case, it just didn't make any sense. So
that's fair. No, and I agree. I mean, if those of you guys who have the Hot Toys 95, right, Batman and Robin, they're kind of statuish. I mean,
yeah,
they're really hard to pose, and I feel like if you were to squish them in like that,
yeah, you damage the figure guaranteed. I mean, it should fit, but yeah. Anyway,
it's your own risk, essentially, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So,
all right.
What's up, my man? Great to see Joost. Class act as always. Thank you, my friend. And I'm sorry, Joost, you were saying something. Let me cut you off.
No, I didn't. Oh, Rich, yeah. I'm working on your email about the 2022 you wanted. So yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Anyway, so what else do we have?
Roman Giant. Yeah. What else do we have? So before we wrap, guys, because yeah, dude, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah. Maybe I got some more pictures. We did the Jedi Starfighter 22.
We have a little. Well, we have. Okay, so briefly, right? We have the Bat Cycle,
right,
photos here.
Those are
signature, right?
Yeah, the signature for the Bat Cycle plates. So everybody who ordered one will get a signed plate by Bird Ward, numbered edition as well. Yeah, so that's and for the 1966 Bat Cycle, we're still tweaking, getting the accuracy, especially of the Bat, the cart.
Mm-hmm.
I've only recently gotten some more pictures that I can use. So very good, Rich. I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
So but I'll have a model and a prototype to show somewhere early next year. So January, February.
That's good. A friend of ours was like, "Yo, the Bat Cycle's coming soon." I was like, "No, it's not." He was like, "Yeah, it is." I'm like, "No, it's not." We were just joking. He's like, "Oh, you're right. It's 2024."
No.
We're still just looking around. I was like, yeah,
on schedule
soon.
Yeah,
on schedule. But yeah, it was just funny. We're just kind of joking around with it because that's exciting. I know he's getting one. AJ, I know he was getting one. So it's cool. It is cool. Don't get me. I love the fact that you were able to get him to get Burt Ward involved in this. So
yeah,
it's gonna be really nice for a lot of people. I see Bob Dylan here. Can I bring this up too real quick before we do? Says any updates on the BvS Bat Computer? And
yeah, so we're definitely going into production Q2 next year, as discussed. This is the prototype that I have so far. It's nice to be able to say that. So I have made a decision, and I will compromise the accuracy of my model to for the chair to better scale with the Batman. So this is an oversized Batman, and the chair is actually for sale. So we got the dimensions from the actual company making those chairs. But if you put the chair with the Hot Toys figure, the chair looks too small. So we've decided to, after a group vote, to make the chair too big, slightly larger than 1/6 scale, to make it look better with the figure. Mm-hmm. We're also going to be rising up the desktop to fit the oversized Batman figure. We're currently doing tests with different screens. The thing is, there are not any, we couldn't find any miniaturized screens that didn't look off. So like with a very thin edge, that are also thin enough as a screen. So it looked very weird with the working screen. So now we're working on making these screens light up and having the opportunity for the customers to switch out different screens with different textures and prints on the screens.
That'll be cool.
Variation.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, because the actual working screens, you can't miniaturize the electronics and the power supplies so that it looks like a shrunken TV screen, right? I mean, It just looks off. It just doesn't look right. So yeah, we're still ready to go in production. We'll be adding some more detail to the cement back wall and the floor. in the final production version, I found a way to get those patterns from those tiles and those cement back walls. So, and again, this also works without a switch. So if you're on a smart plug, the whole thing
beautiful.
lights up. All the screens light up. The desktop lights up. The small screens in the desktop light up. There's an overhead light that lights up. So yeah, it really grabs the attention when I get people over in the to look at my showroom.
It's awesome.
My collection.
It really does look good. No, I don't think this is not a DF 120, right? This is your own thing right now, right? Or
no, this is a DF 120.
Is it? Okay.
But in there, inside the DF 120 is everything you see there, including the roof and the floating thing. That is all included in the diorama. So you're getting the floor, the back wall, and the ceiling, and the metal poles where everything is suspended from.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just inside a DF 120.
Right, just sitting in within. Okay, cool. That is awesome. All right, that works. What do you think, Mario? Are you into the BvS? I mean, are you thinking about getting the back computer? Or?
No, I mean, I did enjoy the movie. I did have the figures, but I since moved on to from them.
Mm-hmm.
Something like this isn't really up my alley, to be honest. Dials are nice. I appreciate the dials from afar. I think you do an amazing job with everything. But for me, I've always liked that museum type of display, whether it be a figure or a vehicle. Although, technically a diorama could work in the same situation. But great work nonetheless, man. I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks really good. I know there's a couple of folks asking, myself included, are you considering maybe doing the 89?
89 what?
Like the back computer, the cave, and all that, stuff like that.
You want to say when the Hot Toy show?
Yeah, because Hot Toys did show stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they show stuff a lot, and especially when it comes to like dios or vehicles. Sometimes it's it. It's all you got.
Yeah.
You saw it, and that was a wrap. So I don't know if
I would be very surprised if they did that, but so the support for this Batcave is very minimal. So I would, because 89 is my jam, just like you, Anthony. So if
because you would think that, right? Like, okay, BvS, I'm not taking away from BvS, but I can understand how it's not a hot seller.
No. In
comparison, and that may be that, then you may be like, well, this one doesn't do as good as I'd like it to. Should I go through it? But then you're like, well, it's 89 though, right? So now all of a sudden, maybe there is this kind of invigoration of the community where they're like, hell yeah, I got the Batmobile, and it's doubled options too, right? Because maybe those people that don't buy your 89 Batmobile and they bought the Hot Toys Batmobile, then they may be potential, oh shit, well look, we can get a Batcave, we can get the computers.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening, especially since the 89 Batmobile and the 89 Batwing was such a big success. Yeah, that would be something that would be up for discussion in the group somewhere Q2 next year, maybe.
Okay.
But I can imagine that. I mean, yeah, like I said, all the cool Batman stuff you're allowing me to make, I'm glad to make. I would love to have that 89 Batcave. So yeah, if the community backs me up, I'm there.
And that is why it's important to join your Facebook group. I'm sure Bob Dylan can help me out here in the chat. Actually, I do have a link in the description of the video actually already, guys, so you can check that out as well. Right, because that's community, right, feedback, and you're going to put out polls, ask questions. Yeah. So guys, use your voices and let people know, and let you know what I must say, that even though I said what I said about dials, if you did a 66 Batcave, I think that would completely change my mind. I would probably hit up Brian for a max Moducase and just hit the whole setup, dude. And so what about your beard then if I did the 1966 Batcave? What about it? I mean, are we placing a wager here? I mean, I dare not go against you because I know you'll bring something out. Hot Toys, on the other hand, no, that ain't happening. After the Bat Cycle, we're going to do a next 1966 project because the 1966 Bat Cycle it's not as popular as the 1966 Batmobile, but I got enough orders that I'm not worried.
So I would say, if you're asking for my opinion, I would not bet my beard on not doing it. I think there is a very good chance. No, I would even be go beyond that and say, I'd say the chances of a 1966 Batcave are significantly better than a 1989 Batcave, even.
Oh my! All right. Okay.
Yeah, and so
good to know.
Yeah, so it's going to be parts of the Batcave. I don't know if you've seen
Yeah.
that auction that went live of the Hot Toys 1966 Batcave a couple of months ago.
No.
That thing, they sold their prototype. I think Heritage Auctions sold that.
Yeah.
And,
there was a lot of the Batman stuff, the Hot Toy stuff.
$11,000, $12,000, something like that, I think was the price I saw for that. But yeah, so they sold that. But then you could see they had the 1966 Batmobile in the middle there. And the cool thing is the guy who bought it also has my 1966.
You're kidding. Wow.
And he compared them. And I'm feeling a happy camper. That's all I gotta say. But anyway, so if you see how huge that Batcave is compared to the Batwing, I'm never going to do the entire Batcave as a single piece, the 1966 Batcave. That's just too much.
Right.
We're going to do a couple of the computers.
Pieces
maybe
together.
Atomic stack, something like that.
Yeah. No, definitely. That's
plenty.
Well, Ivan, that's a great question. Will there be a poll for the next Batmobile, Arkham Knight,
Yes, sir.
or Batman and Robin? So
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely. Bob dropped the link in the chat for you guys to join the Facebook group for that as well.
Thank you. Yeah. So, yes, there is going to be a poll as soon as the 1989 is done. I don't know if that's going to be. It really depends on how everything goes with my time and the supply chain and the engineers helping me with the engineering for production and all that sort of thing. So it might be after the 12 scale 1989 prototype is done, but it's going to be somewhere I would guess in January at the earliest, where the next Batmobile is a fact. We're going to do the next Batmobile, and then I think he just named the two most usual suspects for the next Batmobile is either 1997 Batman and Robin Batmobile or the Arkham Knight, and put up a poll and see what happens.
You know, it's really tough because I would say Arkham Knight, but in my head, I would say Batman and Robin is more practical because then you've got all the movie, you got all the, you know what I mean? Those are all done. And then,
and size-wise, it's a much more doable vehicle than the Arkham Knight.
But that Arkham Knight, dude, just the Arkham games are awesome. So
yeah, I was about to ask about that too.
Yeah, but if I can,
hey Don,
quick, thank you so much, Don, for becoming a channel member. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you. One of
the old names. Don has been with us for a long time.
Awesome.
Has a lot of our stuff.
Dude, just thank you so much. I do appreciate it very much. And then we do have a $2 sticker. Tank Ace, thank you, my man. I appreciate that. I don't think, unless you missed typing something, but I appreciate it either way. Let me know. Let me know if there was something there. I do have Jason. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so the two questions that I see in the side that would be relevant for the Arkham Knight: would it transform? Most likely not, because that would be too big. The others asked for an animated Batmobile. Would that be included in the poll? I would say why not?
Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, because I've seen the request for that as well. I think it will lose to Arkham Knight and 1997, but I'm glad to put it into the poll.
Yeah, but
remind me if I do the poll. I forget. Remind me. I'll put the animated series in there. I mean, sure.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good. But then again, Jason's Trek, man, my friend, thank you so much. Celebrating 18 months of membership. And just able to jump back in. Any updates on making kits?
No, not yet.
Yeah, right. No, nothing yet. Nothing yet. That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting as well.
High on my wish list, though. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
High on my wish list. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's on the wish list. So, Chewy does say, thanks, Anthony and Yosto. All the info was very helpful. You'll be hearing from me about the Falcon cockpit soon. So awesome for you. And we got Wes as well. Thank you, my friend, for the $10 super chat. Definitely appreciate that. He says, hey, Yost, one more thing. On the signature edition BvS Batmobile, the magnets don't hold up the door panel like it did in the Justice Mobile when I opened both wing doors. Any recommendations?
The recommendation is send me a video to my email. I'll look at it for you. And if it's not up to spec, I'll send you a new canopy, no problem.
All right, that is awesome. That is awesome. Thank you. Checking just some chats, guys, before we wrap. If there's Johnny, I'm not sure. A couple questions if I can get through. Doing the Joker version of the Arkham Knight. That, you know what that one is, right? It's like it's painted kind of like the Joker.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I
would say that's a very niche thing.
More already in the niche area, so I don't.
So if we would do the Arkham Knight version, I could do so if the Arkham Knight version was the one that people chose in the poll, I could do a poll and see if there's like enough interest to do 2 finishes like we did for the 2022 Clean and Weathered. We could do that, but I don't know.
Okay.
Batman and Robin Redbird motorcycle. We would have to see how the 1997 Batmobile fares first, but
like how how that performs. So.
Yeah, I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm afraid.
Yeah, JFK is kind of right too. People underestimate how long this 6 scale animated Batmobile would be. It's pretty big.
Yeah,
pretty big.
Yeah, and I would be worried that regardless of what we can do, it would look like a toy. It would just look cheap because there's not a lot of detail there. There's no weathering there. There's no high gloss paint job.
Yeah, because otherwise you would be taking your own creative liberties and then thus taking away from the accuracy.
Yeah.
Like to hybridize it of sorts, right? You're like, well, hey, this is the animated, but we're trying to make it look real. And then people are going to be like, yo, that's not what I grew up with. I don't want it. And you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
The other way, you're like, it's pretty basic looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a worry I would have if people voted for that.
Yeah. That is kind of funny. Blitz says, Yost, what was that comment you made about Carlos? He did give you the go ahead.
Well, then I would say, Carlos, thank you very, very much for this very cool thing.
Oh, okay. Oh,
nice.
He was the one that arranged that for me. Made a deal with him for some other cool stuff, but
shit. Well,
I didn't know if I could out him, but
that's all right. You can out Carlos. Everybody will out him. Go ahead.
Yeah, but this is so cool. I mean, he designed this plate. He got it signed, got it authenticated with a sticker. There's 2 in the world. He has 1. I have 1. I mean, how cool is that?
That's very cool.
It's very thoughtful, right? I mean, he made this because he wanted it for his collection. He thought, "Do you want one, Yost?" And that's cool. I like that.
No, that is very cool, and that's really cool for you to have in the office. That is really cool. That is very cool. Guys, I'm trying to see if there's anything else that we can discuss. Mario, do you have any other questions or concerns or anything that you might want to relay to your audience and your social media, just updates, things like that, like regarding, anything with Yost?
No, man, I think everything's been discussed. Nothing I can think of. Just bring more 66 and I'll be there for it, man.
Yeah. And 66 is going to be a mainstay for us for a while yet with the support we've seen so far. So
I actually did have a question, man. I mean, how are things going with the whole design for figures? I remember you mentioned that before that you were looking into that, but is that still a possibility?
Well, I'm not sure if you got the part. Maybe you were off, but so with the contract expansion, we've gotten the whole world approval, and we hadn't had pre-approval in the United States, and now
the United States. Okay.
Yeah. So that's all on hold until the United States.
Gotcha. No, I'm actually kind of working also on the side as well. So
yeah, exactly. No, I realized you said that before the stream, so I realized that. But yeah, so that's that.
No, Doc, I wasn't asleep. I'm working too at the same time. So multitasking here.
If that can happen, yes. If it can, because obviously you want to, and I understand too. I mean, between there's some kind of legal thing going on, but also I also get it. There's a lot of third party stuff happening out there too. Which is kind of like you're like, well, damn, like. Not to say that that prevents you from doing it, right? But
no, but I mean, in the 14 months since we've had since we had that discussion, we've had the Joker, we've had the Penguin, we've had in the list I got like 14 figures released by unlicensed companies, in the stuff that I was willing to do licensed and as good as we can get it, right? So anyway.
Yeah, it is. I get it. That's frustrating.
Yeah.
It is. Because not to say that yours would not be great, right? But people are like, well, shit, there's all this stuff out there already. There's other companies. So then it's kind of like, well, wait a minute. What do we do? The oversaturation. We were talking about that earlier, right? Like we had, like how some of the figures in the market, like Hella was, Hot Toys Hella was doing really good. And then that Juice Girl Hella came out and kind of devalued it of sorts, right? Because it was more easily accessible. So it just, there's all sorts of inner workings there in 1.6. So you hope for the best, I mean,
yeah, exactly. And then we'll see. We'll just see. There's plenty to do. Look at all these things in the chat: Fast and Furious kit, James Bond, Jurassic Park. So
I think
it's not
Jurassic
a question.
Park tape would be cool.
Yeah, I agree.
If you could.
Yeah, and especially since it's both Universal, so Kit and Jurassic Park would make total sense as a combined IP license deal with Universal. So we'll just wait what they see when in our talks. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I would think. Any Vader table updates?
None, especially after the Jedi Starfighter. I mean, that was a pet project of one of the boys that worked for me, and he's been very busy just studying and everything. So, and he's also a tennis player at a high level. So he doesn't have a lot of time. And with all the prequel stuff with the Jedi Starfighter, I'm not pushing him. So no updates.
Okay. Well,
Speed Racer. Good idea.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say
JFK 21.
Very fun.
No, I mean, I'm so happy to be able to answer all these questions.
Same.
And I will have more to show soon. To the 1989 Batman prototype, Batmobile prototype is going to be done next week. I think maybe the week after, but not much longer. And that we will have to show that. I'll have to think about that comparison video to do that. Then there's the prototypes of the Bat Bike and the Jedi Starfighter coming up early next year, and there's a lot of releases as I discussed. And anybody who wants their clean 2022 or Bat Signal or whatever shipped before Christmas, we can. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming. Before we forget, for the Collecting Weekly, we were nominated for Company of the Year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, congratulations, man!
Thank you so much. That was so cool. So if you want to vote on that, please do. That would be much appreciated. And whatever they say is true. It's cool to be nominated, and I'd like to thank my agent.
Super cool. Yeah. Shout out to the guys over there, Zach and company over at Collecting Weekly, of course. That is cool. And you know what? I would agree. You're kicking ass, man. You're doing great.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
So much.
So many people in the support. I mean, we've had people in here all the past 2 hours, just nothing but love and support. A lot of questions, guys. I tried to get to as many questions as I could. Obviously we don't have a whole lot of. We're already over 2 hours, so I do appreciate. I'd say any other questions, right? People can reach out. They can join the Facebook group. Make some posts, ask some questions.
Yes.
I may not see you till next year. Maybe, I don't know. Right? I mean, maybe not. I guess we'll see. If we, see you next year. Like, but
possibly see you next year, unless you want to do something with the prototype. But we'll see. And anyway, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
Mario, very nice to meet you, and thank you for coming on, even though you're also working.
Yeah.
And thanks for giving me the time and chance to answer your questions. Thanks for that, Bob. Vote. Vote,
guys. Everybody in the chat, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Always a pleasure. It's always fun. We'll talk. We'll do some videos. Of course. We'll do this Batmobile. Did I end that poll? I think I ended that poll. Anyway, majority of people were like, let's do a comparison. So we'll see. I remember that. I just thought it was something overwhelmingly, slanted to yes. So, you guys have a great rest of your day. You have a great rest of your night. You and your family,
Appreciate it.
Safe times, everybody. And yeah, hit that like button on the way out. Go check out the Facebook groups. Subscribe to Mario. If you guys haven't, if you're new to Mario, El Profesoro, I'm going to put your, I don't have your link in the description, but I'm going to put a link in the description, guys, for Mario. This guy was kind of a spur of the moment. So I'll go ahead and update this. If you guys haven't, man, dude, Mario's cool, man. Look at that beard. Look at that Star Wars.
Just making it do what it do. Appreciate them, man.
Look at that Star Wars.
Yeah.
And dapper beard.
Little Batman here, little Iron Man, got a little Vader back there, a little Back to the Future here. You got DeLorean on this side. You know, a little mix of everything.
Yeah,
but,
and a very cool statue.
I'm sorry?
Very cool Mythos statue. Is that right?
Oh,
the one in the back?
Yeah, that's the Mythos Vader.
Epic.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I've got the 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗎 and Darth Maul with it too. But yeah, I love this line. It's a great line.
Yeah. We'll drop a link in the chat right now. Maybe Bob can help me out if you can for Mario. For those of you guys who are new to the channel, check out Mario, man. Mario does his live streams on Mondays and Fridays usually, right?
Friday night, yeah. We got LWO coming up tomorrow night, and so that's gonna be fun. It seems like we're rarely talking about Hot Toys anymore. We're just talking about more about food and life in general. So yeah, it's always a fun time, man. So I'll check us out,
dude. It'll be so fun, man. Guys, definitely check it out. And I think that's gonna wrap. I don't know what's going on for us Saturday night. Come back. We'll be doing our Tales of the Dark Side Saturday show. We should have Rob Burnett back on. I know he's going off to LA Comic-Con this weekend, but that's gonna be Sunday. So we will have some discussions on Saturday night. That's gonna be fun. Thank you, Bob. El Professor, there you go. Mario is right here, guys. Go ahead and give Mario a sub if you guys are new, man. It's my dude, man. One of the coolest dudes on the internet and in real life. So, Joost, again, thank you for coming. It's always a pleasure. And we will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Yes.
Alrighty, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night. Alrighty.